Okay, hi everyone on Facebook. I've just decided to make this little short video, so just about the Trump win, because a lot of people at the moment are really freaking out and they're in hysterics and stuff like this, basically because Trump won. Now the thing is, if they had been watching the whole Trump movement over the last few months, you would have realised that he was always going to win. So it's just interesting that everyone's saying, oh, it's a shock, it's a shock. It wasn't a shock if you had been paying attention and not focusing on the mainstream media. Look, you would have seen yourself that through the polls, all the polls were completely wrong, they were distorted. The reason why they did that is because the media, the mainstream media, were working with Hillary Clinton and the Democrats to try and skew people's opinions, okay? They wanted you to think, oh, Hillary's a done deal, so if you're a Trump supporter, don't bother even, don't bother even sort of voting for him, don't bother even going out and voting for him because it's a waste of time because Hillary's going to win. But those of us on the inside, we knew, hey, he's getting 50,000 people at his rallies, Hillary's getting 300, okay? So what would have been a shock is if Trump didn't win. Now, what I just can't believe at the moment that there's people rioting. The very people from the left that call themselves humanitarians and libertarians and everything, they're now burning their own neighbourhoods down. It just doesn't make sense, right? And why? Because they're all being goaded. They're all being brainwashed by George Soros, right, who wants a race war. He wants to divide America. It's the only way that you can bring America down. Even Stalin admitted that, right? The only way you can bring America down is from within. No standing army in the world could defeat America. Only America from within could defeat America. And that's what they're doing, right? That's what this is all about. So we've got a whole bunch of people now walking around dazed and confused going, oh my God, the world's ending, I'm going to kill myself. Literally. There's literally women, young girls on YouTube saying they're going to kill themselves, right? Because Donald Trump got in. But why I'm so excited that Donald Trump got in, not because I think he's the greatest man alive, because he's not, right? He's a human being. He's not perfect and he's never going to be perfect. He's a human being, but he's someone that genuinely cares about the United States, the Republic, and the rest of the world. And so he's put his hand up. He didn't have to do this. The guy's a billionaire. Could have bought an island, lived happily ever after. But as he was moving around the United States, seeing that the whole place was in decline, it was disintegrating, like places like Detroit, he thought, I've got to do something. And that's what he's done. So what do we have within an hour after Trump announces that, he announces that he's officially the winner? Vladimir Putin calls him up within an hour saying, hey, let's do business, let's be friends, let's, forget about the war. So World War III is now off the agenda. And to me, that's exciting. That's amazing. That's awesome, right? I don't want war. No one wants war. Russia don't want it, that's for certain. Now, you might think, oh, we weren't going to war. Yeah, we were. Okay, Germany had amassed 6,000 troops, 400 tanks. Britain had just put in another 400 tanks. Ukraine, you name it, all the French, they're all amassing troops. There's something like 40,000 troops on the border of Ukraine and Russia at the moment, right? Ready for when Hillary got in to press the button and World War III would have started. Now, Hillary is on record 3 times saying that she would happily, without any thought, attack Iran, attack Russia, and attack China with nuclear weapons, okay? So if Hillary had got in, we would have had a thermonuclear war. No doubt about it. It's in her own words. It's in the WikiLeaks. It's a done deal. So effectively, the Earth has just dodged a bullet, a thermonuclear bullet, okay? So I don't know why people are rioting. And the funny thing is, with the people that are rioting, you've now got a guy in. If you had any chance whatsoever of getting your agenda through, getting your things through, here's the man that could possibly do it. I'm not saying he will, but at least he's open to suggestion. He actually listens to people. And you go back and look at all the veterans he spoke to, all the poor people he spoke to, they're all saying, wow, this guy actually listens to us. They actually, he's not a politician, he's a guy that actually listens. And that's why they all voted for him. And the other thing at the moment, the media is trying to tell you, particularly in the US, but even here in Australia, that, it was white evangelicals that won, won the vote for Trump. That's a lie, okay? There was a record number of blacks and Hispanics that came out and basically voted for Trump. And the reason why is because it's the blacks and the Hispanics that are the smart ones, okay? They've just been shafted for the last 8 years by the Democrats. They're living in poverty. They're living hand to mouth. They've seen all their work go, their industry go, everything's gone. So, of course, they're the ones that saw it first. They saw the writing on the wall. So they had the guts and the brains to actually go and vote for Trump. And so what happened? The system got caught with their pants down. They didn't see it coming, just like Brexit, sorry. And the same reaction that we had after Brexit is the same reaction we're having now, that the system, the media, the Wall Street, they're all saying, it's the end of the world, it's doom and gloom. No, it's not. Okay, this is the beginning. Now, people are contacting me a lot in the last day or so saying, you must be happy, everything. I'm happy that we've averted World War III, and I'm relieved. That's really what it is. I'm relieved that we're not facing that particular threat at the moment. But really, it's not a time to be complacent, because I guess the best analogy would be, we've just been sieging the castle wall for the last 18 months, and we finally broke through the big gates, the big giant gates at the castle wall. We've got through it. But what happens then? We've got to all rush in. And who's the first guy that's going to rush in? The leader, Trump, on his horse, charge. So who's the first guy that's going to get hit? He is, right? So we know for a fact that all over Twitter, there's people calling for his assassination. Because the system are desperate. It's not a case of, we just have to let Trump rule for 4 years and then we'll get it back. No, these people are going to jail, right? And Trump has said it. Inside scoop is that right now, as we speak, he is setting up the judicial team, special prosecutors, judges, everything. So when he comes in on the 20th of January, within that week, he's going to be sending out subpoenas. The top of the list, of course, is the biggest criminals of all, which is Bill and Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, whom Averting apparently is going to be the state witness. She's going to flip for what do you call it, immunity. Anyway, on his initial list, there's 29 people that are going to go down. 29 people. All of them are big, politicians, businessmen, corrupt bureaucrats, you name it. Now, they're suspecting out of that 30 odd, there could be up to another 90 like minions under them that could also go down as well. And it's right across the mainstream media, the White House, the CIA, FBI, like Comey. Comey's a traitor. There's a lot of organisations that need to be brought down. And before you say, this is a witch hunt, no, it's not. He said he's going to drain the swamp, and that's exactly what he's doing. These people have had power for the last 50 years or so, and they've controlled everything. They've controlled what you see in the media, what you get to do. Every little aspect of your life they've interfered with, education of your children, what medications you've got access to. I mean, we're now finally seeing miracle marijuana. Why wasn't that being able to, be allowed 50 years ago? Because it was more value to them as a black market item. But because of a groundswell of people, they've had to relinquish and they've given in with the medical marijuana. Right, that's getting sidetracked. And I've just got a little list here just in case I covered everything. Now also, the elites worldwide are absolutely shitting themselves. I'm serious. We've got this Prime Minister here in Australia basically had to go on TV to calm people down, oh, it's going to be okay, but gee, we've got to be careful now, Trump's in. We've got some minister in Germany who came out and literally said, oh my God, this is going to start a Trump movement. We're worried it's going to start a Trump movement all over the world, all over the West. I hope it does. I really hope it does, right? But this is the thing. So the elites are crapping in their pants right now because they didn't see it coming, and now their jobs are on the line. And getting back to the mass arrest that we hope is going to take place if he lives that long, you don't have to worry that, half the senators are going to be arrested, because senators can only enact laws or write, say we're going to go to war. That's all they do. Outside of that, they have long lunches and backdoor deals with their corrupt buddies, right? And then election time, they go back to their home state and kiss a few babies, and, that's all they do. So even if you sacked all the senators for the next 12 months until you got new ones, it just means you can't make any new laws and you can't go to war. I don't see that as a particular big problem myself, but I guess people were going to try and call it a witch hunt. Now, the other thing is the media are going to blame everything that goes bad in the world, are going to blame it on Trump in the next few months. We know that. Before he even gets inaugurated, they will basically, demonize him. It rained today, that's Trump's fault. Oh, we got snow today, that's Trump's fault. The economy collapsed, that's Trump's fault. The economy's collapse has been coming for a long time, right, before Trump ever had anything to do with it. All I'm trying to say is to these lefties that want to go and burn their neighbourhoods down, here's a man that'll listen to you. Why not organise yourself into a coherent, mature political movement? And now's the time to organise yourself, get yourself all ready, document everything that you want to talk to him about. If you were halfway through next year having mass rallies and you're getting 1 million people there, peaceful rallies, Trump will listen to you. But who's going to listen to you if you're burning cars and looting shops? Seriously, no one's going to take you serious. No one. Now, I think it was Corey Leyland, if he's out there, he's probably in bed at the moment. I think he's in America. But he sent me a brilliant thing where he's found on Craigslist. They're advertising on Craigslist for rioters. And, they've done this before. We know they did that for other things, and they pay them money to come out and riot. So the system is wounded at the moment. It's wounded. It's really hurting. So they're now like a caged animal. They're going to come back. They're going to throw everything at us. But this is not about Donald Trump. This is a worldwide movement, right? Trump is just the focal point. It would have happened if someone else done it. It's not about Donald Trump. I never said it was about him. It's a movement. Now is the time to basically get ready to support him, right? Because he's our best hope. And like I said before, Trump is not perfect. He's not. If I could have picked someone else, I would have. But he's all we've got. He's all we've got at the moment. He's our best chance, right? It's about defeating the globalists. It's about defeating the New World Order, whatever you want to call them, the system, right? That's what is collapsing at the moment. If you're not aware, they're all buying these, properties and building bunkers in New Zealand and Argentina, all these places around the world, because they know it's collapsing. They know the end is near for them. So we just can't give in to fear. They're going to start a massive fear campaign in the next couple of months. As I said, blame everything on Trump. And we just have to not give in to that fear. Just give Trump a go. And that's what I'd say to these people that are rioting. Just stop. Take a deep breath and think, okay, let's just give him a go. Let's see what he does. Right? That's all we can do. We can just see what he does, give him a month or two. Now, if he backflips, if he doesn't do what he says he's going to do, I'll be the first one to condemn him. I absolutely will, right? I've got no problem with that because I'm not in love with the man. He's there to do a job. I'm here to make sure he does it, as a lot of other people are. But I feel in my heart of heart that he's honest and that he does want to do the right thing by the United States. So I'm prepared to give him a go. we'll revisit it in a halfway through next year, I guess, and I'll have a look at it myself and think, well, he's done this, or he hasn't done this, whatever. But we have to at least give the guy a go, a chance to try and do something. Because at the moment, the Senate, the New World Order people are going to force him to pile up all of these corrupt senators and people into his cabinet. He can't do that, right? He has to rout them out. So once he does that, they're going to go after him and they're going to hamstring him. They're going to try and tie his hands behind his back. And that's what we, the people, need to rise up and not allow them to do it. I'm sure the US founding fathers would be sitting there right now, looking down, going, finally, all that hard work we did to create that constitution and to create the system, it's finally working again. It's finally being allowed to work again, because it's been basically crippled for the last, since Kennedy. And we all know what happened to Kennedy when he tried to go after them. And that's my main concern, I guess, at the moment. Trump is aware of it, he's well aware of it, and he said he's ready to die if he has to die for this. But what these idiots don't understand either, it's, like I said, it's not about Trump. You kill Trump, that'll be a tragedy, but there's enough people now behind him that the momentum will keep going. So killing Trump isn't going to solve anything. And as I said before, it's all over Twitter, all these idiots, saying, oh, if you see Trump, shoot him, kill him, blah, blah, blah. Killing Trump is not going to stop it. You can't kill ideas. Don't they get that? You can't kill an idea. This is beyond Donald Trump. This is now a movement. And it's not an American movement. It's a global movement. Okay, that's what people have to understand. You kill one guy, 20 more will step up and take his place. Okay, so basically, that's really all I wanted to say. Because I'm seeing all this stuff and people are just hysterical at the moment. People calling me up saying, oh, is it the end of the world? No, it's the beginning of the world. This is the most exciting time to be alive on the planet right now. We are literally at the beginning of a revolution that you will be talking to your grandchildren about, or your great-grandchildren about, saying, yep, I was there during the Great Revolution, during the great time when, good basically overcome evil. It's very similar to what happened with the Nazis, because they were just a crime gang. That's really what they were. When they were finally defeated, and then they had the Nuremberg trials and things like that. That wasn't perfect either, but I'm just saying it's that same scenario. And here's an idea I had last night, and I want to get this to Donald Trump if I possibly can. But we all know about Guantanamo Bay and how... what's his name? Obama said he was going to shut down Guantanamo Bay, and he never did it, right? He never did it. What I'd like to do is empty out Guantanamo Bay, let all those people go, whatever, refurbish it, and that could be the new prison that Hillary and her gang get locked up into. That would be poetic justice in my mind. The very political prison that they created, make them stay in it. Because you're not going to be able to put these people into a normal general population prison. They'll be torn apart, literally, physically torn apart, all right? They'll be beaten to death. And we don't want that. So I thought, we've got to put them somewhere. Hey, let's put them in Guantanamo. I reckon that would be an awesome idea. I'd love to see it. I'd love to get that idea to Trump. Maybe I can, maybe I can't, I don't know. We'll see. It would just be poetic justice. Especially if Mr. Obama also ends up in there. The man that said, I'm going to close it down, and he never did, right? It would just be poetic justice if Mr. Obama ended up in Guantanamo Bay as one of the guests. Anyway, let me know what you think. That's just my little rant. This is the first time I've done this, by the way, but it's just because I thought I have to address this. I have to talk to people out there. It's getting hysterical, and just be prepared. The shit's going to hit the fan now. Trust me, it's going to get bad before it gets any better. Trump winning was a relief, but it's really just the start of the battle. Okay, anyway, see you all later.